Okay. Now I'm live. I had to unplug everything. I don't know if this is gonna record or not. It says on my cell phone I run out of storage. I don't know. So anyway, I don't want to talk about what I really want to talk about to maybe a few people get here. I'll just get used to this StreamYard on my cell phone because I didn't know how to do it before. You know, you learn things every day, and I do learn things every day. Give me the. How do you do this on the cell phone? Okay, do that. Alright, the link's there. If you see it. I'm not used to doing this on my cell phone. Yes, my mother's away at her sister's, my aunt. What little family I have left. Let me tell you a few things. I'm at my mother's because I literally can't drive long because of my back. You know, I've been going. I physically can't work. And yes, if you're paying tax money for Social Security, because I paid my dues, I busted my ass working. You don't know that I had so many jobs. You know, this is why I'm in this bad shape right now. Because of the jobs I've done. I did a lot of warehouse work. A lot of warehouse work. Okay? A lot of warehouse work. I busted my ass up until I can't work no more. Okay? You know, when people get me pissed off, I react the wrong way. Okay? A lot of it probably because I was drinking, and the other half of it because I'm in a lot of pain every day. I wish nobody the pain I go through every single day. But on top of that, I don't want your pity. I don't need nobody's pity. I am just telling my story of my life. I don't need no money from anybody. I need no charity from anybody. And then I know way back when Bounty says something about, oh, we got all this money, got all this money all together. Well, you know what? I didn't know the guy. I didn't trust him. But and I said no. If everybody donated, I apologize for all that because I don't remember it. He said it once. I don't remember it, but you know what? I don't need money from anybody. I'm living my own life. I hope this is recording because my cell phone says I don't have much room on the cell phone. You see, here's the thing. I am street smarts, not book smarts that I learn every day. When I was in school, back in late 70s up into the 80s. Yes, I've been born in 1971. Yes, I was born then. I live in the flood area in Wayne, New Jersey. But we survived. The house is still there. If you look it up, I just found some videos recently of people posting about Wayne, New Jersey, the history of Wayne, New Jersey. I think it's called Hills in the Valley of Wayne, New Jersey on YouTube. You want to look it up? That is the history and where I lived. Where I was born in Butler. And I moved back into Butler in my own apartment. But I lived in Wayne, New Jersey. That was my childhood. Most of my life. And then my parents were divorced. My mother got remarried. And then my father never got married, but he didn't want to get married again. So this lady is my unofficial stepmother, but I lived with there for at least I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 years at the time in Pequannock, New Jersey. Pardon me. There is so much history where I live. The Day House, the Manhattan House. Just look it up. We're the third state in our country. The house that's on Fairfield Road that they moved to Berdan Ave. And then Day House is George Washington's headquarters. When all the stuff was going around. This is where I live, people. Look up the history. You think I'm playing games? No. I'm telling the truth. See, where my mother's house is my grandfather's house. And my grandfather's house was in, I don't know, the army way back then. And Mrs. Warnock and the DuPont factory and stuff like that. Think I'm playing games? Look it up. My grandfather when they was coming out of the army, and the development here was just getting started. My grandfather had to put, I think it was at that time, I think he had to put $1. I think it was $1 for the property. But since it's on a corner, I think you had to put more money on the property. I don't know the price. Maybe it's not $1. Maybe it's $100. I don't know. I don't remember what Mother said. But this area where the DuPont factory was, Wanacue Reservoir. Look it up, Wanacue Reservoir. Look it up, Wanacue. This house. My mother moved back here because, I was taking care of my grandfather. Oh my God, I'm just jumping the gun, Just so much to tell. Oh, here's my mom's guy. Want to take a picture? I took a picture yesterday. I took a picture yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And I said, my mom's cat. If we all, I forget what it is. No, if we just, look at her. Just sleeping there with no cares in the world. Look, look, look. Look how peaceful she is. Sitting there hanging out with me. Alright, that's it for another story. We're only trying to focus on what I was trying to get. Alright. So when I go to school, since day one, they didn't diagnose HDD, whatever the hell it's called. I had this disability all my life. But no one ever diagnosed it. I don't have my parents get divorced. I'm the middle child. My brother, baby kid, whatever. Every shares my baby kid. And I have an older sister. Who gives a fuck about my sister? She ruined my life half the time. Back then, she actually had her boyfriend beat the shit out of me when I was a kid. That's how fucked up my sister is. I don't like my sister at all. I'll never forget that. Yes, I'm 54. Not 55, 54. I should not have to go all this fucking pain every day. See, I live in pain. 24/7, 30 whatever years or whatever it is. So every time I was in school, I'm in class since, I think it's since when I was in first grade, I got left back in first grade. Yes, left back in first grade. Because I didn't want that teacher. She was the most evilest teacher ever. If you see Calvin and Hobbes, this is how I can only explain it. If you see Calvin and Hobbes cartoon, and the teacher of Calvin and Hobbes, the evil teacher looks exactly like the teacher that I had for elementary school. And then my first grade teacher, her name was Mrs. Diz. Diz. She had a damn thing called hermit crabs. She had hermit crabs in her fucking class. And then I got back to first grade because no one cared. And I go, and the teacher, when I go back, the second teacher I went to, her name was Mrs. Seal. Crazy, right? Name. She was the nicest teacher I ever had. Passed with colors because the teacher was nice. So the second grade, third grade, no wait, yeah, second grade. And then I went to another school in Pequannock. You know, here's another little tidbit, everybody. You know Tom Cruise? He went to, I think, an elementary school. He went to elementary school in Packanack Lake Elementary School. Packanack. Tom Cruise went to Packanack Lake Elementary School. He was only there for a short while until he went to third grade somewhere else because his parents kept moving over here and there. But you know what? I went to the same hour. See, they had to take me out of Ryerson because the street I live on, because they want to change everything. They were changing the elementary schools. I don't know what reason it was. So my boss, my best friend lived on the same street as me. We had a different spot where the bus picks up. No, my boss took me out of my original elementary school to go to Pequannock Elementary School for 3 years. So I was there all by myself. I had no friends there. So my life was just starting all over again. As I don't know how old I was when I was going to third grade. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that ever since then, I'm in a class, and I always the one individual that had to take out of a class to a separate teacher to try to teach me things. Math and spelling. And then I go to fourth grade, the same thing. I'm in a class, but one teacher had to take me out for me and this teacher to do the same thing, and fifth grade and so on. So I guess there was no diagnosis for HDDD, whatever the hell it's called. And then when it came to high school, my first freshman year, I'm in all the normal classes. And then near the end of my freshman year, they start a new program with me and a handful of kids with one teacher. So I had one teacher to teach me all the things. So in all the 4 years, I had one teacher in high school. One teacher in high school, except for gym and lunchtime or whatever. One teacher. I graduated with one teacher teaching a handful of kids. When I graduated, that was it. There was no diagnosis of 18, whatever. I'm being real, people. I'm not drinking. My mom's house. It's the first time I actually can talk to you because you know what? I do respect my mother because I can't drive. I on Social Security because I. Why do you think I'm on? I'm 54. I should not be on Social Security. I just recently had to go to the insurance people physically appointment and mentally appointment. Pads with full colors, which is not a good thing because I can't work anymore. I'm not happy about it. So all this shit I've done in my past. All right. This is the reason. The reason why I'm saying, let me get something straight. I did my dues working my ass off. You know, back then I was 15 years old. Okay. I lived walking. I If I walked to the Woolbrick Mall, the very first mall that was ever built, the biggest mall, the very first mall where all the malls copied it. I live on Fairfield Road. I walked a half hour to that mall, but you know what? There's another mall on the side. It was called Westville Mall, which had the roller skating rink. USA, United States, America. USA. That's where my skating thing started. That was one of my first jobs because I was so. Because in high school, I mean, my parents were getting divorced. I didn't know. I love playing baseball. I played little league baseball. I was a star player, but no. If you guys believe it or not, I don't give. I was a star player. I had no support. There was no one there for me. So I did my own thing. I went to the rink, blah blah blah, and there you go. From there, a job. And then when I graduated high school, I got a full time job, but I always had a part time job at a rink. When that rink closed, I went to another rink, which was in the same town in Wayne. It was Skeeter's World, and I must have been there for like 3, 4 years working there part time. But what made me happy is what made me happy. Full time job at the time, I hated it, but I busted my ass. So I realized, and I'm starting to notice how the people at the skating rink, a lot of my friends are not around much anymore. Not knowing it's a brand new skating rink up in Warren, New Jersey, just opened up. No one told me anything because I was working there, and I worked every Saturday night on the rink. I was probably in my mid early almost what 2023 at the time. Once I got there, my whole life changed. I met this girl I knew from years ago. I almost got married to her, but I broke it off. I broke it off. We were great. Then she got all crazy with me. Then I said, fuck it. And then she tried to come back. All right, fine. So then I started living with her for a little while. I must have lived with her for, I don't know, 4 months or 5 months. I don't know. Then I had enough. I walked out and then came back. So, so fine. We talked about it and I moved back in. You know, the best sex is what do you call that? um, back together sex. I don't know what the name of it. Whatever. We did it. We had it. I had a Chevy Cavalier hatchback. Put the seat down. It's like a small version of a Chevy IROC Camaro. Same. It's just a small version of that. Oh, the best sex ever. But anyway, but then I went back and then I left again. I couldn't handle her. I couldn't handle arguing with her, so I just walked out. I just said and I took my shit and I walked, and that was it. I'm done. And then I found a cougar. What I mean by cougar is an older woman. She was 12 years older than me. Oh, sex was good then, but with this cougar, oh my god, you have no idea. Ah. Anyway, besides that, so but then that only lasted for like a few months. I was stupid, older woman, yes, I know. But and then I move on to I don't know. Yeah. Give me a sec. Alright. Whatever. I don't know what you mean. I'm not blue. I don't know what you mean by that. Anyway. Alright. Alright. I'm done with all that. The real reason why I came here is I want to get some things straight. You see, I went on and on about it. So my high school thing, all right, fine. You get that. So I did my dues. So and then I quit. When then all that happened, I got to the point where I found this other girlfriend after right. See, I quit. I got to the point where I needed a break from working at the skating rink. And I asked the manager, can I at least get 2 weeks off and I'll come back? The manager, because I was the best thing going there. And he's like, no, I need you. I said, no, I need to take 2 weeks off. And he said, I can't give that to you. And you know what? Out of reaction, I said, then I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. Because I was sick and tired of working every weekend. It was the summer. I want to go down to Seaside Heights. I want to enjoy my summer. And then I came across this girlfriend that probably destroyed my life, which is, you ever come across a girl that was everything to you, and you did everything, anything for her? Oh, my stupid ass, I was so hooked with her. And then that's when I just stopped skating. I just couldn't be at the same building, same place, and she was there. I just stopped skating. I regret it every single day in my life. Every single goddamn day in my life when I stopped skating. So life moves on. So I'm just working from job to job to job. And like I'm saying, I did I busted my ass on the job. I mean, I worked at, I worked at Stanley Steamer Carpet Cleaners. I posted it before. It's on my refrigerator. I have all the magnets, this and that. I worked there, and I worked at construction companies. And then when I was working at the Wayne Tile, I ran when I got there, and that's when my father died. When I started working there. Okay. And this guy was just almost just like my father. And we connected really, we were like this when I got there. He was like my best friend. And he ran the warehouse. See, the tile company was always, you got the contractors. I worked the tile warehouse behind the store. They had a bigger warehouse, but other people worked, but he ran the day shift. I ran the night shift. I had to take orders from customers and commercial people. I laid tile every day. All kinds of tile, marble, granite, you name it. It was every day. Maybe why I have that back problem now. There until they shut down the warehouse behind the store and they changed. So I was out of a job. Oh, by the way, the guy passed away when I was working there, or something like that. Or he had a heart attack and it's like, I don't know what he was talking about. And then eventually he passed away. But see, when my father died, it's 25 years ago, this past Memorial Day weekend. But see, that time my father passed away. That was May. Then February comes around. Our senior dies. That's another fucking thing that broke my heart. And then the 9/11 happened within that year in September. Within a year or so, I was devastated. I lost a lot of stuff in my life, and I was unemployed. So my cat Rusty came into my life because I was suicidal. I swear to God, I was suicidal. But I didn't ask for a cat. My mom found a cat in the tree. And I said, I don't know. I never took care of it. My mom always had cats. But I said, I don't know. I'd love to take the cat in. But would the landlord accept it? And she called the landlord. This was a different landlord, the place I still live in, but it was a different landlord. They changed landlords or company or whatever. I took him in. I never took care. I never took care of a cat before. But when I got that cat, it changed my life forever. I wasn't suicidal anymore. It changed my life forever. So you see the icon on my YouTube page. That's him. A memorial picture of him. There's so many. Within time, there's so many ads. There was I was with MySpace and this and that way back then. I just got my first computer when I got my cat, and I showed a picture where he's laying on a table with my very first computer. Well, that computer's long gone, but I still have the exact same monitor still sitting at my desk right in my apartment, still right there. They got the old connections. I just haven't been able to like move things around in my apartment because I can't physically do that no more. My point is, I did my hard ass work. That's probably why I'm in this physical shape. And I drank in my past. Crazy like. I cannot believe, to this day I still don't understand how I'm still alive. Maybe I'm a fighter because I still want to live. I want to live another day, and I'll do whatever it takes to live another day. But you guys don't understand how much pain I go through. I live in pain every day. All right, let me jump to. Let me just, because I'm getting annoyed now, and I just want to put all this aside. So since I've not been able, see, I worked at a job because I got laid off from a security because I was certified security. Got laid off the last one, and then unemployment ran out, and I had to get a job. So I got a job at a convenient little store with a gas station. In New Jersey, we pump your gas. It's a law. I don't know why the law is still around. It's a good law for me because I don't have to get out of my car. But it's always been that way. But I said to myself, I'll never pump gas. No, I'll never pump gas in my life. No, I'll never get a job like that. No. I had no choice. So I had to go in. And I got this job at the convenience store with a gas station, and I ran the store at night. There was 3 people. One to run the pumps, the gas. I ran the store, the cashier, everything. I ran the little store, cleaned up the store. It was at night up until 7 in the morning. Put all the packets, all the food and this and that. There was a guy in the area who doing all the food. He does all the food, this and that. But when it comes to the morning, I had to go and make the coffee. Not just like a sticky little tiny coffee thing. There was those pitchers, there was those big 30-pound jugs for making coffee. And there was 22 of them. Within 2 hours, I had to make one setup and make another setup. No, wait. There was 12 1 hour, then you had to make the next 12 the next hour. But then I had to go back to the cash register because I had to do 2 things at once. And when it came down to it, when I was working there for a few months, by the end of my shift, my legs were numb. Goddamn numb. I don't know how I was even be able to work. Walk, I mean, not even. Turns out, I called out a few times saying I can't come in. On top of that, the guy that ran the Quick Check, he came. He's an idiot from corporate of Quick Check. Oh, he's been a member, whatever, blah blah blah. He didn't know how to run the store. He's the owner. He's the one who needs a man to run the store. But he can come in whenever he wants to. And I said to him, people are supposed to come in at 6 to help me with the cash register and do the coffee. No, everybody ends up coming at 7. And I told him many times, no, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Oh, fucking guy, what I can fuck my right in the fucking face. He was smarter than me, and I just wanna. But in all said and done, I had to let you go because you couldn't come in. I couldn't because I didn't know I had a pinched nerve. I had a pinched nerve. No wonder why my legs were so numb. One night, I had to call my mom, my stepfather to pick me up in the morning because I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even walk. And then, like, what I'm saying is that, so then I finally go to the doctor or hospital or whatever, and I find out I got a pinched nerve. So ever since 2000 of May, and the crazy thing is, that's when the pandemic started. Time when I found out. After that, every time I had to go to the hospital, everybody had to wear a mask. It was crazy. They're putting tents out on the hospital. You know, all right, I'm gonna get to that little part. So I had 2 procedures for my pinched nerve. Okay. Other than that, every time I had to get something checked up or whatever. Here's the crazy thing. I never got the virus. I've been tested within all of things. I've been tested 15 goddamn times. I guess I'm the lucky one. Tested 15 times within a year plus. It never got the virus. Never. I was clean. So I guess some genes in me to fight the virus off. Guess I'm the lucky one. Anyway, that's when my body went all to fucking hell. Because on top of that, I've been trying to get my knees. My knees are so fucked up. But you know what? It took me 20 plus years to finally get a doctor through the state, get a normal doctor to finally do reconstruction surgery on both knees. The one knee. And here's the thing. You had no idea when I was in the hospital. When I finally got okay to get the surgery, some stupid ass said, I had to get one test, and I didn't get the test. No one told me about it. I had to get a stress test before I get surgery, and I never got that. No one told me to get it. No one programmed. No one. So turns out my cardiologist sent me to the hospital right away to get the stress test done. But this is not the kind of stress test I can run. I had to be on my back and inject all the crazy stuff in my body. Okay? So I couldn't get my surgery. The next day I couldn't get the surgery. So I had to wait another month or so to get my knee done. Right? This is when it gets crazy. So I'm in there. The nurse, I'm in the hospital, ready to get my surgery fine, right? And the nurse comes in, asks me questions, this and that. And I said, and this nurse was such a fucking whore. Anyway, I said something. Oh, well, I had my tooth hurt. Mine hurt a little bit. That was a week ago. And and you know what? At the time, with all the virus thing going on, I had to do all this stuff myself. I had to clean myself up, and then do all this stuff, and I had to, dip that stuff, that red stuff in your nose, to clean your nose. So before surgery, you got to do all yourself, right? All ready to get surgery. My doctor comes in and tells me, and this is what really pisses me off. Comes in, I can't do your surgery because you might have to get your teeth checked out. I can't have you dying on whatever because you might have a problem with your tooth. All right, fine. And then when he told me that, I was throwing things in that fucking room. I fucking flipped. You think I flipped out? I literally flipped out in a hospital, and 2 security guards are right there out the window, about to take me down. But you know what? When I calmed down myself, and I knew about security in hospitals. So like, I know you guys are doing your job. I'm good when they walk me out or wheel me out, whatever. I know it's fine. So so make appointment to the doctor, right? And they couldn't do it one time. So I had to get all my teeth taken out because they couldn't arrest me because I didn't think my teeth were that bad. So I had to get all my teeth taken out. And the dentist said to me, it's best to do it live instead of put you under it. So I was live. So they ripped 10 teeth out the top. They ripped 10 teeth out. That was not easy. Just use needles just to numb it. They had to constantly numb everything. And it still didn't work. He was just rip. Rip. So then 2 weeks later, I had to go back, right? And rip another 11 teeth out. So I guess it was 21, whatever. And these are the ones that fucking hurt. Back to one of my videos, I probably showed the little teeth I used to have. I don't even know where they fucking are. I don't know where my old teeth are now. But they had to go in and rip all of them. And the one right here. And I was awake for all that. It wasn't fucking easy. Because see, this is how I think. I would rather walk again than have no teeth. But then when here's the thing about the dentures. I had to get all that. I got dentures, right? But I can't wear them. And I said, because I gag. It's a gag reflex. So I had the person that did the dentures try to cut top of it so I don't gag. She's like, I can't cut any more out unless the dentures will break. Well, all right, fine. I got them. I tried wearing for a while. I couldn't. I just couldn't. Just thinking about it almost made me gag. Anyway. So how do I get my teeth taken out? So I got my right leg done, and then a year later, I had the left leg done. All right. But see, my knees are so stretched. You know how you know how your leg's supposed to go this way, like this? Well, it went the other way and that way. My knees are so stretched. The ligaments and everything are so stretched out. It's still my knees still give out to this day. But the great thing is that the titanium in my leg catches it, and I don't pull no more. And my left knee still have an issue with it. And well, also I gotta go. All said and done, I have a back issue. I'm still waiting to get my back done. Okay. I'll come back to this story. And I'll tell you all later. Have everyone keep it cool out there. Bye.